welcome back. Today we're going to talk about all of like the BookTok trending books and if they're worth buying. First, we're going to start off with the Kindle editions just because I want to like get those out the way so I don't forget. Okay, first up, The Silent Patient. I'm going to tell you guys right now, my answer is no. No, 1,000 times no. Okay? This book was probably the most boring book I have ever read in my life. Like, so boring to the point where like I was like, F it, and I just skipped and read what happened at the end. I didn't finish it. I couldn't do it anymore. I was falling asleep every time I tried to open the book, and it just didn't work for me. I'm not good with slow burn thrillers at all. So this was an immediate no. I think my book club chose this, and I don't think any of us finished it. Next, 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I'm gonna say yes. And I know a lot of y'all got a bone to pick with this book, but I'm gonna say yes, okay? I loved it. I loved everything about it. I will say, it is very detailed. I know people hate that, but I loved the book. I loved the story. I loved the plot. I loved the characters. So it's a yes for me. Okay? Fight about it with your mama. It's a yes for me. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I'm gonna say no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say no. This one really, it really pissed me off, actually. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Because the first like half of the book kept referencing A Court of Thorns and Roses. And I've never even read A Court of Thorns and Roses. But I knew that it was referencing it. That's how much it was referenced. Like, why? It actually got very annoying. And I almost like put the book down because of it. But I kept going. And another reason that I hated this book is because this was not a happily ever after. It was a happily ever after, but not to me, because Xavier gave up everything and Samantha did nothing. She cried the entire book. Xavier was always like pushing himself to the limits, and it was just like, how is that a happily ever after? He gave up his whole career. She did nothing. So this one was a no for me. I hated it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. There was just like no effort on Samantha's part, and she was like the worst character that I could have imagined. Next, Should Have Sparrows. So I know this is another like 50-50 book. I will say I hated it at first because I started the audiobook. Do not read the audiobook. Do not read the audiobook, okay? It will send you off. When I like first started it, I was like, oh no, this is another BookTok book that's gonna flop. I'm gonna be mad because y'all keep sending me off. Now, when I started reading like the ebook, physical, whatever, I was cool. Great, amazing. I know like a lot of people have like an issue with Odessa saying like there's too many paragraphs full of questions from her. I kind of liked it. I felt like, like it made me feel more connected to her. Like I was in her mind. So I didn't really mind it, but I can see like people's point with that, but I loved it. I think it was a good romantasy. I don't know, but that's just me. But I also think people need to understand that there's a difference between romantasy and fantasy romance. So people always like read romantasy and they're like, oh my God, the world building sucks. But if you want more world building, you're supposed to read fantasy romance. Romantasy is like romance focused first, fantasy focused second. And fantasy romance is fantasy focused first and romance second. So I think a lot of people like get the two confused. I think romance is just like putting the two together, and it's not. They're two different things. Next is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I will say I'm a little biased with this one just because this is like the first book that got me back into fantasy reads. So I was like locked in. Like, I think I finished it in probably like 2 days. But I liked it. I will say I have not gone on to read Iron Flame or the third book. I can't remember the name. But, I mean, I don't know. As for this one, I liked it. It did feel like, I don't know, it felt kind of YA-ish, but with sex scenes, and that kind of threw me off a bit. But in terms of the story and everything that was going on, I liked it. Next up, The Tenant by Big Frida. I will say this is not one of my favorite books by her. And I will say, like, my first 2 books from her were The Housemaid and Never Lie. So I had very high hopes, and this one just didn't meet up to those. I think that's all of like the Kindle ones that I had. So let's get into these physicals. Okay. Now, do not judge my stack of physicals. Like, y'all know I like to read. I don't have friends or a life. So, yeah. Okay. Quicksilver, Callie Hart. So, do you see the annotations? I'm going to say yes on this one. I'm not going to lie to you. Now, I will say, it reminded me, I don't know if I have like any like anime people, but it reminded me of ReZero, and that's like really what kept me locked into the story. But I will say around like the 30-35% mark, it started to drag, and I was just kind of like, all right, are we done here? But if you push through, when you get to like 70%, it picks up and it gets good. Now, I started Brimstone at the beginning of the year, couldn't get through it. So I'll try it again later in the year. But this one, yeah. Legendborn by Tracy Dion. Hex yes. Okay. This book, listen, let me tell y'all. Do y'all see the annotations here? Like, it's insane. I know it is. But this one almost took me out, y'all. I tried to read it before, and I think I kept getting sidetracked, but I finally had time, and I was like, all right, I'm going to read this. I have the whole series. Like, I need to finish this book. And I'll tell y'all, I finished this in 2 days. Like, I started from the beginning and finished in 2 days. Now, I will say, I know like a lot of people give up on it because there's like a ton of world building in the beginning of the book. And it makes sense. It is like a lot of world building, a lot of scene setting going on. But once you get past that and into like the actual plot and like the thick of things, baby, I couldn't put this book down, okay? Like, hubby was getting upset. He's like, you want to watch a show? No, I'm reading Legendborn. You want to go to a movie? No, I'm watching Legendborn. Can you cook? No, I'm watching Legendborn. Or I'm reading Legendborn. But it was that good. I just finished this yesterday, I think. But I'm starting Bloodmarked today. And yeah. I think I want to like finish the whole series, and then I'll do like a whole like video on the entire series, but go read this. Okay. Next are Vicious Oaths by Annie Davenport. Yes, this was my top read of 2025, and I will never stop telling people to read this book. I will never stop telling people. Everything was amazing. Everything. I'm not even finna like try to convince y'all. I'm just gonna tell you to go read it. Go read it. Why wouldn't you go read it? Like, go read it. Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This is one of the books I talked about before. This was amazing. Amazing to me. Like, I want to say this was better than Housemaid to me. It was that good. It was that good. Like, I think I finished this book in one setting because I couldn't put it down. It's a yes for me. King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. I'm also going to say yes for this one. Now, listen here. This is my first S.A. Cosby read, so it is a yes to me. I haven't read the rest yet, so I don't know how it compares to the rest of his work, but I liked this one, okay? It kept me on my toes. I liked the characters. It had me screaming at the book. That's all I can ask for in a thriller, and it gave me all of that, so it's a yes for me, okay? Okay, next book, Only for the Weak by Natasha Bishop. I'm going to tell you what. I will never stop recommending this book at all. Like, this is one of my favorite romance books. Rome is number one book bay, okay? Number one. Nobody compares to him, okay? I'm not even gonna get into like what the book is about. Just know, top tier. Go read it. Whole series, yeah. Powerless, fearless, reckless, fearful, powerful, all of them. Just throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had such high hopes for this series. Such high hopes. Everybody on TikTok was just raving about it. Oh my god, it's so good. This is like the best fantasy I've ever read. Oh my god. I was so ready. I went and bought the entire series. I was like, everybody said it was great. I'm not even gonna question it. I went and bought the whole series. I was ready. I finished Powerless. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, maybe the next book is better. It was just book one, you know? What do I know? I finished the second book. I was like, that was even worse than the first. How do you do that? I got midway through the third book, and I was like, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I'm done. I quit. So, yeah, needless to say, I did not like this series. It wasn't terrible. It just didn't give everything that I expected it to. Yeah, it just could have been a lot better. A lot better. Sorry. Blood Moon by Brittany S. Lewis. I really hate to say this, but it was you know? And I was like really excited for this book. Like, it just kind of flopped to me. Like, there was really nothing keeping me invested in the first 80% of the book. I just finished it because I wanted to see how it ended after spending so much time on it. The last 20% had like enough action to like kind of pique my interest a little bit, but it wasn't really like, I don't know. The way it was marketed, I was expecting a whole lot more from it, and I didn't get any of that. So it was kind of just like, you know. Phantasma. I will say, BookTok, y'all got this one right. I really enjoyed this one. It had everything that I needed. Romance, spice, deadly trials, a female main character who was like sarcastic and hilarious, and yeah, I loved it. Y'all got this one right. I will say I kind of don't have any interest in reading Enchantra because I kind of didn't care for her sister in this book. So when it came to the second one, I didn't even buy it. I was just like, I don't really care for her. So, but this one was good. The Skyland Series by Kennedy Ryan. I can't get enough too, but I let somebody borrow it, so it's not in the library at the moment. But that one is my favorite one of the series. And then I want to say second is Before I Let Go, and then This Could Be Us. I know a lot of people have a big bone to pick with Before I Let Go because of Josiah's actions in the book, but I don't know. I liked it. I think the story was really good. It was like a very cute second chance romance to me. So yeah, definitely a yes to this series, in my opinion. Next is the Shepherd King series by Rachel Gillick. And I do have like the special edition ones. I will say I'm a bit iffy on this one. I will say it's like half and half in terms of like how correct BookTok got it. I would say like the first book started off extremely slow and it was like hard for me to keep interest in it. By the end, it started like picking up a bit more, but the second book picked up like immediately, and I was locked in. The only thing I didn't like was the end of the second book. I feel like the way everything was tied together at the end could have been a bit better. But I will say maybe. Next is Haunting Adeline. This is actually my current read, and I'm about 60% in. I really don't know how to feel about this read. This is a buddy read with me and like some of the girls from my book club. And I don't know. It's like you don't want to say you love it because of like all the crazy, crazy dark romance elements. But I don't hate it because I can't stop reading it. So do with that information what you will. Next is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. So I'm gonna be completely honest. This series is like raved about on BookTok. Far, I only read Twisted Love, and I will say like the first half had me locked in. And somewhere in the second half, I just found myself like getting very tired of both characters and struggling to get through the book. I got tired of it, honestly. That's really all it is. It got really like flat to me, really boring, and I just couldn't get through it. Because of that, I haven't read the other two yet. I'm kind of still deciding if I want to or not. But yeah, that first one it didn't do it for me. Next, Verity. So I will say I'm really not like a big Colleen Hoover fan. Like I read this because it was a thriller, but I really do not like her romance books. But this one was great. If you do decide to read this book, let me know if you're team letter or team manuscript. So yeah, those are all of like the BookTok trending books that I've read last year. We'll see. I'm kind of like moving away from the BookTok. I'm kind of like moving away from the BookTok trends because I don't know. Some of y'all recommendations just be kind of bleh. Like that's all for today, you guys. But we will be back next Friday, and we'll be choosing my February TBR. I kind of want to do like all romance because it's February. It's also my birthday month, so I don't know, because I want to like, y'all know I'm real big on fantasy, so I do want to like mix fantasy in there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely tune in next Friday to help me pick out my February TBR. Bye.